Yeah, so TLDR, this DW, this video, it's unallocated gets added to your total skill points, and so you can exploit that total skill point thing to get around, like say on an alpha character, hoarding your skill points till you reach 5 million. It's going to calculate in game your 5 million limit, also adding, including your unallocated. So, boo. Just to prevent exploits of, you know, if somebody got a new character and then got a whole bunch of skill injectors and injected them all at once past beyond reason, and then applied it, be able to apply all of that and get around the limitations of too many skill points, right? When you're doing injectors, that's probably to protect against that. So, wah. So the only reason I'd hoard currently is to protect my skill point history on the character sheet. If you apply a partial skill, like if you get partially into your skill, you'd get that in your history. So I just want to prevent the spam of that in my skill point history. That would be the only reason I would do that in the future. And I guess I might as well apply the points on my... Well, I'm not going to apply the points on some of my alpha accounts that are designed for use on Singularity, because if I have a stockpile of unallocated on my alpha accounts, I could apply them tactically in a direction I want to test on my alpha accounts. That would be interesting to test out. But for your average alpha player, don't hoard your skill points in hopes of getting around that 5 million total. Just spend it. You're such a low level that you're going to be able to level up multiple levels at once. But yeah, once you get into that area where you are training skills that take days, yeah, I'd start to hoard your skill points unallocated, just so you don't get the spam in your skill point history, because it is helpful, that character sheet's skill history, to, you know, figure out where you're going with this character. You know, you play casually, you're like, what was I doing with this character? And you could track the skill point history, and that will help you go, oh, okay, I was aiming for this kind of skill, this means this character, okay, I got it now, that kind of thing. Anyways, that's the long TLDW. So the rest of the video will continue a few moments later.
A few moments later.
Alright, welcome to Even On, Major Freak. So, skill points, unallocated. I was thinking recently, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you're an alpha, and you stored up all your free skill points until you reach 5 million on your skill queue, and then you can apply them. And then after that, you could probably, like, this is pure speculation at the time, you could probably like buy a bunch of skill points or skill injectors and just pump it up past that, and get your money's worth out of that instead of, you know, incrementally losing your bonus. And I was, something around about that bothered me, because it was like, well, CCP wouldn't want that to happen, because it would be, you know, less, you know, it'd be not what they quote unquote intended. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that there was something wrong with the equation. I started paying attention to the total skill points, right? So I've got 50,000, and I was like, what if this calculated your, it, you know, what if this was actually tied to, you know, it was this, your skills plus the unallocated. I'm like, that would solve a lot of the issues that I foresaw when you know, try to take advantage of the skill injection issue, right? So I'm like, okay, well, if I apply it, it'll either add to this or it won't. And if it won't add to this, then that's taken care of. And how much? 901, no, so 1478. 901, 1478. So as you can see, if you added the 50,000, that would add up to the 900,000, right? So the login screen will show you your current trained, but the in-game total will show you that plus the unallocated. So to test it, of course, we'll just hit apply, and it shouldn't add to your total here. See, it'll like blurb, but it's the same, right? So therefore, if you plug in a whole crap load of unallocated thinking you're gonna avoid, the reduction in skill points when you go past a certain level, you're not going to be able to avoid that. And the bad news is that the advice to, hey, save up all your skill points until you hit the 5 million obviously isn't going to work, because you're saving all your unallocated. And like, I'll bring up my backup computer here, my EULA speaking entity. Wife's using it. Lol. I wish the mute button was easier on this microphone. I need to get a new one with a better mute button. It's pretty dodgy. So. Alright. Yeah, but trolls will complain about anything these days. Alright. So, I'll bring up one of my alpha accounts on the other entity, and I'll just read out what's going on here. So I think a couple of my alpha accounts, I'll bring up one more just in case it's not working on that one. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 I use in game, and then I've got 4 more that are just I'll be using those on Serenity, the test server, because you can make them a mega on the test server easy. All right, so I've got, all right, I haven't gotten to the, I might actually, give me a sec. So 3.37 million, wait, there it is. So 4.5 million skill points. Always look at the IS category. So 4.5 million on my alpha account, one of them, go in game, and I'm betting it's past 5 million. What do you think? Load up here, bring up the skill, and I've got 5,073,081 skill points, and I've got 500,000, like 548.5 thousand skill points unallocated. And I thought that was going to be extra and above the 5 million, but CCP's like, denied. So unfortunately, that's the case. Can I train anything else here? Probably not. Let's can I do that? Let's see. Drag any skill. Gimme. Oh, gunnery 5. And is it yellow? Yes, it's yellow. So I cannot train it. So if you thought you were being sneaky, like I thought I was being sneaky by getting past the 5 million skill points using by not using your unallocated until you've saved up a crap ton of them, right? Until you reach the 5 million, and then you can spend them. Looks like it's a completely useless tactic. So sadly, one cannot get away with that, which is unfortunate because, it rewards those patient enough. But then I started to thinking of the exploits, and it was like, well, if I can do that, maybe I can buy a whole bunch of injectors, inject them all, and then apply them. Get around the limitations. So, yeah. It was a nice thought until it got dashed right now. So that is a pity. So yeah, you're unallocated. Not going to help you squeak by the 5 million easy by saving them up. Would it really matter on these accounts? Well, I never really paid attention, right? Once you're past a certain number, it's like, whatever, you know. I try to save them up. So when I apply them, it won't be a partial skill, it'll be a full skill. Otherwise, your skill history looks a bit stupid. It's hard to see. So you start to get, you know, repetitions, and the last thing you want to do is keep applying them, because you'll have a whole screen full of min matter cruiser level 3, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I've been spending quite some time since September, actually, I guess, skill farming to plex my account. Yeah, so I'm very careful in applying those skills, skill points unallocated, because last thing you want is to, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? How much weight you put into the skill point history? Not much, right? Because you can only go down so far, right? You can't go down to, like, you know, when I first started the game, which kind of sucks. I've tried to keep a record over the years, at the last 3 years, trying to keep a record of what I have trained, you know, to just give yourself an idea of where you were trying to go with this character. But then I realized I'm just going to specialize. I can just specialize. I just realized that all I had to do was, for my characters, who were the 4 miners, would specialize into a different faction. And my hauler trader would just train into, you know, all the hauling trading stuff that is needed. That's a lot of skill points right there, right? You know, jump freighters, etc. And then I've got my booster, the command person, the 6 account that I'm running on Omega. That would be into boosting and command skills and all that lovely stuff, which takes a ton of skill points as well. So that solved my, what am I using this character for currently? That solved that problem completely, 100%. Yeah, yeah. That's the only reason I hoard skill points on my mains, is not to mess up my skill history, and that's the pretty much the only reason. Yeah, interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have yourself a good weekend. Bye-bye.